Welcome back, responsible drinkers and designated drivers, to the Drunk Quest tutorial part 2, where we talk about the 90 Cs proof expansion. So, for those of you who are interested in Drunk Quest, you might have noticed that there's a second box. This is the 90 Cs proof expansion. It's not a standalone game, it's something that you get to expand upon your original experience. If we were to compare the size of the boxes here, you can see that one is significantly smaller than the other. So, if you're having a lot of fun with Drunk Quest already, and you want to add a little bit of a pirate theme to it, the 90 Cs proof is great for you. But it also introduces a few different rules because of the new cards that get added into the game. So as you can see here, I've laid them all out. You get 66 new treasures, 12 new heroes cards and realms, and I'll show you a new card that gets introduced called the ships, and new monsters and a new kind of monster that gets introduced. So let's go over what the different kind of stuff you get. So here with the monsters, you'll find these new orange border monsters called rare monsters. Now every card in this expansion has a small little icon in the corner to show that it's from this expansion. So when you're separating the cards out, you know which one goes where. So here we have the new monster, a rare monster. Just like all the other monsters that you've fought before, they have a drink value, they have an effect, and they have a treasure value. But you'll notice two things are different. The effect isn't the same as the other monsters in the game. These cards' effect only take place once they've been defeated. With normal monsters, when they get revealed, you would play out the effects and proceed around the circle. But rare monsters, their effect only takes place once they've been defeated by whoever defeated them specifically. So, let's say we have player 1, they reveal the monster, they defeat them, congratulations. Now they will take that monster and equip it as a permanent, and is now treated as one for the rest of the game on that player's side. So each of these rare monsters have different rules for when they get equipped. And you'll also notice that none of them have treasure values, although just like any other monster, their treasure values can increase via different treasure cards. So those are the new monsters that you'll find. You can also see that there are other extra monsters and 2 new boss monsters. Next, we'll talk about the new treasure cards that get introduced. There's a specific kind of treasure card that gets introduced called the combo families. So, you'll find a treasure card just like this, and you'll see a symbol on it in parentheticals. This symbol here is a skull and crossbone. So, whenever the players go around the circle and someone adds a combo card into the mix, at that moment, once that card is played, every other player can add cards immediately with that same combo. So for example, let's say we're going in the circle, right? Let's say monster gets revealed, alright, great. And then the player does a special effect, does something to it to reduce the cost, right? Then we go around the circle and someone says, alright, for my action, I'm going to add 3 drinks. And then stop right there. Everyone else gets to go look in their hands and say, oh, well, if you do that, I combo, this guy combos, and another guy combos. 3 different players. So they just added all those drinks in one instant. And then once it goes to the next player, they say, alright, now it's my turn, and I want to add my own thing. And everyone says, okay, whatever. Third guy goes, he wants to add his own thing, etc., etc. But you can see, you can make a bad situation worse for a player by just instantly adding a handful of cards into that mix. Of course, only one player can add 1 card. You can't simply add all the combos from your hand. But one at a time lets you add 1 extra card. Could prove detrimental to a player. If they thought that they were only going to take a few cards, and all of a sudden combos go into the mix and make it worse. So, for those of you who like drinking, get ready. And lastly, new cards get added here. We've got something called ships, new realm cards, and new character cards. So new characters and new realms, we know what those are. But now we've got ships. So when you start the game, the players can decide to take a regular realm card, or they can instead take a ship. And the ships have a handful of new rules to them. So here we have a ship, right? And here on the text, you'll see something that's known as a hold effect and a fire effect. So when the player takes a ship, on their turn, they can load the cannons by taking a treasure card and simply placing it under so that they know that the cannon has been loaded. At any time, they can do an instant and fire the cannons. When they fire the cannons, they target a player, and that player must take as many drinks as number of cannons being fired at them. And the effect under the fire also takes place. So sometimes the player might want to fire upon themselves. So here we have the Luna wheel. Its fire effect says take the last instant in the discard pile. So this player would fire upon themselves. They shot once, and so they would take one drink, and they would take the last instant in the discard pile. And of course, when you fire the cannons, you remove the card. The second effect here is the hold effect. Once all the cannons have been loaded, which is the number in the bottom right corner here, the hold effect will take place. And this one's effect says all monsters are worth 2 more treasure. So that's incredibly useful. And considering this ship's limit of cannons is only 1, the player probably will find themselves in this situation pretty often. They would simply on their turn load the cannon, defeat the monster, and then probably by the end of their turn fire it on themselves for just a measly extra drink and take the last instant in the discard pile. So you'll see here other cannons, or other ships rather, have larger cannon sizes. So the hold effect would only take place once the cannons are filled. And when you fire, you can choose however many cannons you are firing. You can pick 2, you can pick 3, you can pick 1, depending on how many cannons your ship can hold. And that's it. This is the pirate-themed 90 Proof Seas expansion 2 Drunk Quest. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope this answers any questions that you guys might have about the Drunk Quest 90 Proof Seas expansion.